Hey, everybody, what's going on? Welcome to Between the Laughs podcast. I'm Carlos Mencia. This is my friend Gabriel Lopez.
Hola.
Hola. Do you ever call yourself Gabriel, by the way?
No, that's
Was that ever a part of your life?
That's what my mom calls me. That's it.
Your mom's the only one that calls you Gabriel?
Yeah.
Any Gabrielitos?
When I was a kid, my grandfather would call me that.
Really? Do you guys have nicknames in your
Yeah,
family?
actually, and my grandfather on my mom's side would call me Gabriel, which there's an extra R. Gabrielito.
Gabriel?
That's what he would call me. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And he was the only one. And so now my mom laughs at me because every year in December, the first 2 weeks of December, there's the biggest rodeo in the country takes over Vegas. Mm-hmm. So my show, The Dirty at 12:30 at the South Point, they're like Cowboy Central. So they actually had me fitted for a cowboy hat. And I only wear it 2 Fridays a year during that time. And my mom said that my dad would be so happy because my grandfather was the type that always had long sleeves, always had a hat on. He would never leave the house unless he had a cowboy hat on. And nobody else in our family did. I'm literally the only person in our family aside from my mom's dad
For real?
that wore a cowboy hat. So,
But wait, because there's two. Okay, so let's go. There's Paisa Mexican, and Paisa for us means basically very Mexican, very illegal immigrant-y, or Texan. So here's the difference. Start with the boots. The pointy boots, especially if they're made out of like a crocodile or the ostrich boots, pointy is definitely Paisa.
Yeah.
The square with the little design on the thumb, that's very Texan, very cowboy Texan.
Yeah.
The Mexican pants are way tighter, more mariachi fit than the American Wrangler jeans. The top's pretty much the same. The buckles, I think, are bigger in Mexico.
I'm not sure about that. I really.
And if you ever see, and it'll happen, it was big a while ago. I haven't seen any in a minute, but the pointy boots where in the front a little cobra snake comes out.
So stupid. So fucking stupid.
But that was Paisa, bro.
That's a Friday, Saturday night nightclub boots.
Hell yeah! I mean, come on, dude. Let's remember. Look, I like shitting on being poor like that too. Yeah. I get it. I understand it, bro. I grew up there. I mean, I grew up on so many levels of poor, and yet not, right? Because like East LA is a middle class neighborhood from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
Right. If you just look at the outside looking in, you fly over it. You know, it's an older neighborhood, but it's pretty much middle class. It would be what it's comparable to Whittier, Pico, all of those. It's just they never. It's still not gentrified, so to speak. So the old houses that were originally built are still the old houses people live in.
Yeah.
Because you move out of those neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Not because of any middle class shit, but it's just because of the environment, so to speak.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid growing up in all of that stuff, it didn't feel it didn't feel poor to me.
You don't know. That's the best part about it. You didn't know you were poor. You were just, this is how you were, and I have my family, and this is, and I saw an interview with Bruno Mars, and they took him back to Hawaii where he grew up, and there's this little shack that he essentially grew up with his parents that's completely covered in ivy, and the best thing is like, well, Bruno, what was it like growing up so poor? And Bruno Mars' response, I didn't know we were poor. I had my family. What more did I want?
Yeah.
And it was the most beautiful thing. Like the interviewer became ashamed of what she asked, and he was just very bluntly honest. I didn't know we were poor.
But what do they mean by poor? Okay, like here's an example. When you hear the word poor, what comes to mind? What are the factors that you go, okay, that's poor?
Yeah, like no bathroom, no running water, no electricity. It's like the basic stuff that a house has.
Right.
I think that's how I would describe it. You know, we've all driven by like homeless camps, you know, and I've never seen them look unhappy. Not to say I stop. Yeah, not that I say I stop and talk to these people, but they never,
I have, by the way.
And so then you're a better. It's like, are they miserable?
No. So what? And here's how it happened. It's happened twice. Well, yeah. Once for a nephew of mine back in the day. Recently, not too long ago, for my son, because I felt like telling him, "Hey, there are people that have it worse than you.
Yeah.
So you finish that food."
Yeah.
Meh, 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 meh. You know what I mean? I thought I need to take him to Mission. So I went downtown where all the homeless people hang, and I kind of found a spot that was not overly dangerous, or that I thought looked, like,
Entry level homeless.
well, not in a corner, not in an alley.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All the shit that,
Yeah.
it's all the stuff that you go, whoa, I can't be stuck here by myself with a fucking 15-year-old kid.
Yeah.
So we were near a big street, near people, blah, blah, blah. And I talked to a lot of them. And the majority of them chose to live that life. Whether it's mental, a lot of it was mental. But a lot of them just don't want the responsibility of life, of a responsible American human life, somebody that contributes to society, somebody that gets up, has a job, feels okay about their job. I mean, we have a very special job, right? We have a very special job in that we get to change the world through words and make ourselves feel better while we make other people feel better. We make everybody's day better. We bring joy to the world. I mean, but everybody's job exists for some reason. Like, there's somebody that works in some shitty little hut that they call the Cafe Luku somewhere in Oregon. And it's just a literal 10 by 10 square foot place where they make coffee. But there's somebody that works there that has just the most amazing attitude. And that person affects every single person that comes to get coffee at that specific place before they go to work. And then those people go to work with a little bit of a smile on their face because they didn't just get coffee, but they got something extra. They got the, "Hey, Mr. Johnson, and you forgot to ask, but I put it in there anyway because you always get your da-da-da of the da-da-da, and we put it in there. Oh, man, I forgot. Thanks, Monica. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it." Now that guy's going to go to work, and his or her blah, blah, blah is going to be late. Their assistant's going to be late. But instead of being shitty about it on that day, you're going to be like, "What happened? Oh, man, you da-da-da."
And that has an impact.
Yes!
I'll give you an example. This is probably like 8 years ago. I was driving, and a lot of
this really happened?
This really happened here, here in Vegas. I'm getting off the freeway on an off ramp, and I've always said, like, it's, you'll never see a Mexican begging for money on the freeway. You'll see them selling flowers or fruit, but you'll never see them begging. You'll see white people or black people begging. Yeah. But I say it to say this: there was this one guy, and this light was really long, and the line was long, and this older white guy was coming up, and I don't know. I just looked at this older white guy, and I had $3 in my little glove compartment, and I could have opened the window, and I handed it to him. And he's like, he just took it and put his hand out to shake my hand, and I was a little leery of that, but I did it. He's like, "I just don't want you to have a great day. I want you to have a great life."
Oh, wow.
I think about that to this day. Wow. Like, I called my mom, "The strangest thing just happened with this homeless guy."
Yeah.
I don't want you to have a great day. I want you to have a great life.
Yeah, that's incredible. And those people have effect. So going back to the point I was making was they just don't, all of these people don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah. And people assume,
for whatever their reason,
people assume that they're all drug addicts and they're all, some people are just divorcees, and the guy that could left his wife and the kids with the house, and he just couldn't do it. And a lot of that's that's a lot of them. That's because I've always wanted to create not a men's charity, but a men's clothing where people can donate their dress clothes, but men specifically, because women and children are always prioritized. But for men, if there is a place where you could come to get suits and computers for you to type up a resume, and people there, volunteers that'll help you, and for them to actually be able to earn, because those first couple months are very impactful of homelessness because you can get sucked in. Okay, this is where I go eat. This is where we make a couple bucks.
Right.
But if you really want to get back in, here's all the suits that and hopefully some of them fit you. And then we'll get you a resume, and here are the phones. And
Yeah. There's pathways to all that stuff. So
at least here in Vegas, I've never seen anything like that.
Well, in Los Angeles, when I was interviewing these people, on average, 70% of all the rooms for them were empty on a nightly basis because there are certain restrictions that come. Yeah, you're going to sleep in the bed, but you got to be here by so-and-so. You can't leave. You can't do drugs. You know, so a lot of
so their freedoms are some freedoms are taken away,
right?
As far as their perspective.
And what I'm saying was, and you brought it. A lot of people don't want to go through the process of what you're talking about. The majority of people that I interviewed, and we interviewed probably about 25, were people that were just so exhausted from whatever their life was.
Yeah, from life, and that's for just life.
That they were like they were kind of. Let me think. Oh, you know what it was? Do you remember when they used to have the roller skating, and they would fight each other on the roller skates?
On the battles?
Yeah. You know what was that called?
Roller
jam,
roller derby.
Roller derby.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember roller derby. They were on the outside.
Yeah.
But there was also an inside track where they had to warm up.
Yeah.
And people warm up.
Yeah.
I think the majority of people there were a few that were just in the stands, and they're like, we're just going to witness life.
Yeah.
We don't want to integrate into it. This is what we got. We have a routine. We get up. We go there. We do this. That's their thing.
Yeah.
But the majority of them were like those people inside the roller derby, just waiting for the right time.
Yeah.
I'll get in. I can't right now. And that I understood. Because the weight of being Carlos Mencia and all that has brought at certain periods of my time, I never did it, but I could see
why it sounds appealing.
Yeah. My version of homeless, believe it or not, is, and we talked about this when we drove that one time, that when I'm driving in the middle of America, and it'll happen like this weekend, because we're in 3 different places, 3 different Air Force. So we're going to be at 3 different Air Force bases, and we're going to drive from one to the other. And at one point, we're going to be in the middle of nowhere, and I'm going to see a farm with a couple horses and some cattle and a bunch of greenery. And for a second, I'm going to not wish I had that life, but it's almost like, man, it would be nice.
The appeal is, I work my 8 hours, I go home, I don't have to think about shit until tomorrow when I do this.
Right.
Because then that's a big problem, like, because I have the exact same problem is I would just like to get home and not have to think about tomorrow or next week or this weekend or what are our sales? How are we doing? Do we need to do more press? This is constantly going. I got 13 shows running this week.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah, I get it. And I've had to, dude. And it's really interesting because right before I came here on the way here, I was supposed to have things got changed, right? So I was supposed to be on with my therapist, have a session with my therapist. My brother Bert was there, and he called me, and I was like, "Ooh, I don't know if I could do it." And he goes, "Oh, you can't do it in front of your brother?" I was like, "I have no secrets from my brother. I don't care." And Albert was like, "Dude, I don't even want to hear any of this shit that comes out of your mouth. Are you serious?" I'm like, "Well, what do you want me to do?" And he's like, "Fuck it, dude. I'll just listen to." I go, "Listen to an audiobook, because audiobooks are constant.
Yeah.
And there won't be breaks.
Yeah.
And then you'll have the noise canceling.
Yeah.
And then I could. And I was talking to my therapist about this exact thing and how to maneuver through it.
Yeah.
How to deal with it. How to be okay with it. And I've been hearing a lot of people tell me, dude, I was looking at your schedule, bro. Holy shit, bro. Fuck, bro. It must be hard, bro. Oh my God. And I saw that you were here and you were there. And oh my God. And I started fucking falling for it. I started looking at my life like, holy shit, they're right. I do work too hard.
Well, they are right. I am tired.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I swear to God. No, I know it sounds stupid.
No, but I get it.
I swear to God.
I get it.
Because I don't look at it like that.
Yeah.
That's not how I see it.
Because our perspective is we are lucky enough when we are blessed in this fucking life that we get to do what we do.
Right. Because I get off stage talking about how, like, one of America's big problems is the majority of Americans never leave this country. So all they know about the rest of the world is what they read, which is not a lot, or what they see in 1 minute post increments of
It's what
I'm in blah, blah, blah.
It's what they're spoon fed.
Right. So they don't know. They don't really see it. They don't have the ability to zoom out, right?
Yeah.
Because I would venture to say that the majority of Americans, and just based on how I talk to people and how I test, they don't know. The majority of Americans have no fucking idea how good we have it. Yeah. No idea. Like, none. Like, I asked this question the other day. I went, in our lifetime, just to calm everybody down, like with Trump.
Yeah.
So, because somebody was like, oh my God, I'm so scared. I was like, okay, well, let me ask you a question, a real question. Has America ever not been the greatest country in the world in our lifetime? And everybody was cool, except for one person. One person, was like, yeah, right now. And I said, right now, what country's better? And she said, well, what about like Norway? And I said, well, if you check what's going on in Norway right now, Norway and a lot of the rest of Europe is dealing with what we had to deal with in the 50s and 60s. A huge influx of Africans. A huge influx of, people coming over. Now ours were brought over. It was kind of a different situation.
Yeah.
But the bringing together of those groups of people, they're just starting to deal with that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why you hear a lot of stuff about racism and shit like that in Europe.
Yeah.
Because they're barely beginning to deal with. They had, parts of parts of Sicily, like in the movie.
Yeah.
That famous movie. Am I right?
Yeah.
What movie was that? Where he tells him like that. Basically, he tells Christopher Walken, "You're black." Am I wrong? and it's God. What was that movie? What was that movie, bro?
It's not Goodfellas.
It's where he kind of acts like Elvis Presley.
Yeah. Drawing a blank. All right.
Drawing a blank too.
Move on.
But yeah. But anyway, so how are we gonna muddle through all of this? Because we need to get a center on we you know what we're like? This is the way I would see us if I didn't live in this country. We're the pieces of shit on that TV show, The Below Deck.
Oh, Life Below Deck?
That one?
Yeah.
But not the people that work there. We're the assholes on top asking for all this fucking stupid shit.
Yeah.
We're the ones in the middle of the ocean going, have bologna?
Yeah.
I want a bologna sandwich. You just want to punch him in the face, dude. You just want to punch him in the face, dude. But that's who we are as Americans.
Bologna?
Do you know what I'm saying? We're the rich. Well, because they'll have everything else. That's the thing. They'll have the good stuff, right?
Could I just make you a lobster roll? No, I'm a
Right,
bologna.
I want bologna. Like we have lobster, bitch. You're like, I'm not a bitch. I know you're a bitch. Like that's who we are. Like we're that. Think of us like here. It's dry. We want it to rain. And then when it rains 2 days straight, we're like, fuck, when is this going to stop already? Same in California. We're in a drought.
Yeah.
2 days of rain. Yay! 3 days of rain. What kind of bullshit is going on here? Jesus, God. Listen, when we said we want rain, here's what we meant. 1 day on, 2 days off. 2 days on, 1 day like we
I love the smell of wet concrete for 1 day, but I want it to rain in Oregon and let them ship their water over.
Right. And can it rain like near Shasta? Because I know that over there it accumulates, and then we get it.
And then we go skiing.
Listen, you're not God. Listen. Like we're
Linda.
Listen, God. But we're those people. We are those people in this country, bro.
So what fixes all this?
Okay.
I have an opinion.
Number one, might work. Not sure. 1 to 2 years of military overseas. So that means that we're going to end up in friendly countries, right? We're going to end up in Guam,
Italy,
Germany,
yeah.
the Philippines, stuff like that. But Honduras, places like that. I think that's one thing that could help. When between the ages of 18 and 20, not only are you serving your country, it brings a sense of
you learn discipline, you learn life skills that you're going to carry for the rest of your life.
That you're all one.
You're going to learn to take care of other people that don't share your last name.
Correct. That aren't yours. That if you get sent, you got to rely on that guy. That guy needs to rely on you. That woman needs to rely on you. Yeah, the woman. And that woman, she's the one that's going to carry your ass out. That one right there. So how you going to treat her now? You know what I mean? I think that would, all the lessons to learn, to be a part of a community, to be a part of one, that you're only as strong as your weakest link.
Yeah.
And to help that weak link, to be supportive of that weak link, because you can't get rid of that weak link.
Yeah.
I think that would be one. And it serves the second purpose of you have to go overseas for a certain amount of time, at least 6 months, so you learn from that. But what I think would make this country a much better place is if we got to exist as regular people, not Americans, not with our wealth, just as regulars in places like Ghana, the Dominican Republic, El Salvador,
Haiti,
Venezuela, Haiti. You know what I mean? Go to places like that so that they learn. Go to places like go to Australia and see how that went down. That experiment went down as opposed to ours. It's a very similar experiment, different in the sense that it was so far that they sent like all the bad people.
all the British criminals.
All the criminals go over there. Who gives a shit? Do whatever you want to do over there. But there's also a lot of people don't speak about the Aboriginal people that were,
Already there.
already there, bro. We know what that's like. I think that living on a reservation with no access to the outside world, to like live the way they live on the res.
So like an Amish type.
Kind of. But the Amish is different because we took this land from these natives. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
And so to live their life, to see their life from the way it is. I mean, I'm not white, and I feel shitty sometimes being around them and reading the history and seeing the history of what this country's done to them.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like shit. Dude, my guilt is, I'm literally crying in the car sometimes. Like, why did we do this? And all I hear is the voice of my father, because whenever that happens, I go back to a moment. So I'll never forget, bro. It was 77, I think it was. Was it? Maybe. Anyway, it was when the original Kunta Kinte, the original Roots. At the end of that, bro, when they cut off his toe so he couldn't run away, I'm bawling in the house, bro. Like, bawling. I'm 11?
Jesus.
11? But it wasn't just because of him, bro. It was because it all hit me at once. I was talking to Albert when I was a kid recently, and when we were kids, dude, we had no idea that eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You know what I mean? We didn't know. We just, everybody said it. Forgive me, but in my blatant honesty, I'll never lie to you. We used to go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and hard R, bro, catch a by the toe.
Yeah.
We had no idea. Because at that time, it was a bunch of Latinos that looked Latino. Then when our first black guy got introduced, shit got, weird because I don't remember who said it, but he said it. And then Trey was like, whoa, what the fuck, bro? And we were like, what? We literally had no idea that we were being, so that is inside of me. How some of my friends are treating my black friends in a predominantly Latino neighborhood is really pissing me off. Because there's nothing that triggers me more, bro, personally, than a human being that knows what it's like to be blanked on, whatever that is, because they're powerless. And then when they get a modicum of power, they get a little bit of power, they do the same shit. That dude, it's unforgivable to me. It is unforgivable if you're a Latino of a certain age and you know what it's like to be treated like shit from a racist standpoint, and then for you to sit there and do it to somebody else, unforgivable.
Could it be a lack of education though? Like he doesn't know any different?
That he said it, yeah. That wasn't the problem. The problem were the people that treated him, Trey, poorly just because he was black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The parents who were like, ¿Y con quién está? Ay, con el negro? Ay, no. Those people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The don't bring a black guy to our house people.
Yeah.
That speak Spanish.
Yeah.
Us. Right? That whole thing is real. Absolutely. And so how do we, you know what I mean? How do we all get past that?
My opinion is if we can start with the word desegregation. And when I say that, the politicians in power have their power by separating us and putting us against each other. Mm-hmm. And if we could just be smart enough to understand that that's what they're doing. There's one thing if you're gerrymandering mm-hmm. for a political stance to dilute a race. And that's literally what they're doing. They're diluting a race to eliminate their power.
Right.
If we can just get our heads out of our asses and realize that's exactly what they're doing. And I always think about the movie A Bug's Life. It's a Pixar movie where
one of my favorites.
Where the grasshoppers are in charge. Let's call them the politicians, and the ants are the people. But the ants have all the power. But the grasshoppers are teaching them that they have no power, and they're believing it.
Right.
And once they start figuring out that our strength is in our numbers.
Right.
And we can get what we want with our numbers.
Right.
Like I actually thought like I wanted to be a senator here in Nevada. I really think I could help. And I was just happened to be talking to him. He's like, I can get you on the ballot.
Yeah.
What do you mean? It's like, bro, you get the unions and you get the strippers on your side. You are gonna take over. You're gonna take over this state. I'm like, oh.
Two groups of constituents that we gotta pulse on them, bro.
And it became very real. I was just talking about from a comedic.
Sure,
like,
sure.
I know I could do speeches and I could entertain and let's go through this and let's go through that. It's like, no, seriously, dude.
Right.
You would be somebody that would actually benefit this state.
Right.
Yeah. Let me sleep on it?
Well, you have to start slow, right? That's the whole point. You got to start slow because, believe it or not, there's a way to do it.
Look at Spencer Pratt's running for mayor and doing good.
Yeah. Yeah, it could happen. I mean, but what do you think is going to make, change it? Give a perspective.
Bring people together. The key is not segregating. Bring people together. That you are no different than our black brothers and sisters and our Asian brothers and sisters. We're on the same fucking team trying to get through.
So it's the middle class?
Let's get through this thing called life. Let me quote Prince, because that's what we're doing. We're trying to get this as best and as comfortable and as happy as we fucking can.
Because that's happening in the largest number ever right now. Latinos and blacks, African Americans, Latinos in this country going from poverty to middle class, like you and me.
Yeah.
Is at an all-time high. So what you're talking about is beginning to happen. what is also beginning to kind of happen a little bit, and you see this a lot in the black community, the racist elements are getting removed, but a classist element is coming in. So think about when you and I talk about Latinos, right? Just say Latinos. If I'm going to talk about a Latino, how I describe that Latino is going to tell you what kind of Latino I'm speaking of. Am I speaking of a Latino that has a green card? Am I speaking of a Latino that doesn't have a green card? Well, you'll know that just based on how I start talking about him in my act, right? You'll know that those, and I think that, you know, like in the black community, it's like, oh, you bougie, or that thing, or like, oh my God, I can't bring anybody to this, right? It's the black people that laugh at the other black people on that star whatever website that all the funny black stuff goes to, that my friends are, Star World or whatever it is.
I have
you know
no
the
idea.
name of, anyway. Yeah, it's that. So it's becoming, it's like a part of humanity still hasn't been able to get past the, it's not that you're lucky that you have money, but we all, like if you were born white in Europe in 1590 and your parents had a little bit of money, you're fucking lucky as shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you're just luck, you know? The legacy that I'm going to leave my kids is way different than the legacy that my dad had left me, and way different than the legacy his father left him. My dad was an orphan at 4 years old.
Oh, wow.
So his legacy of his father was none. Zero. Not probably. A big part of the reason he made it to this country the way he did is because he didn't have parents. Because when he was like 11 or 12, he moved out of the village and went to the city and learned how to clean cars, and then learned how to drive cars, and then learned how to drive a taxi cab, and then learned how to get on a boat, and then ended up on a boat and became a sailor. Ended up in Tijuana, learned how to fix cars, knew how to fix cars from over. Then the guy was like, I'm opening a shop in East LA. I want to bring you to East LA. I can't. I don't have papers. Don't worry. I'll sponsor you. I'm an American citizen. Sponsored him.
Wow.
Without his parents being in his life, he was able to do that. He would not have been able to do that with parents in his life.
Yeah.
So him not having parents
What's
benefited me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy to look at it that way.
But it's also that specific storyline, which is fucking amazing.
Correct. There's all kinds of stories.
And I'm sure your dad knows exactly. Like this lineage led to my son doing this. I have zero regrets.
No, 100%. And he came here, and he wanted to give us the opportunity. And once all of us were grown and out of the house, he went back to Honduras. And he pretty much lives there now because he's like, I did my job. I already do. You're there. Do whatever.
So he's essentially living the homeless life. I didn't want to deal with this anymore.
Yes.
I don't want to deal with this day-to-day grind. I'm got the calm of this farm, and this is what I do.
So he has a farm, and he has, 100 cows, which is just enough. You milk in the morning, make enough cheese, make enough. He has palm trees that are like constantly. Twice a year, they're just constantly, and you make those, you put them in, and you sell them, and you make they make butter and all kinds of stuff, like basically like canola oil type stuff over there. So he does that. I mean, he doesn't make a lot of money, but he makes money.
But he's
taking care of all the kids that take care of him. There were some orphan kids that he picked up.
Truly giving back.
That are my brothers, basically. Yeah. And he's giving back to them and helping them out. And he's out. But he's a very different kind of person because he came here with a different idea and mentality. I think that our problem in this country is that we don't know how good we have it. We don't know. Like, here's an example. The other day, I wanted to get mad, bro. No, I was pissed because I saw my fucking bag from the plane. Like, and I saw that they put my bag on the thing to go up, and then some guy over here said some shit, and then my guy took it off and left it in the little cart. And I was like, motherfuck. And I'm like, it's my bag, dude, put it on. And I'm like, God damn it. And just the inconvenience of having to get to LA,
Yeah.
filling all this shit, send it to my house. Now I got to stay downstairs because they're going to call at 2 o'clock in the morning or blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to wake up Amy and everybody. So here's my number, call it, da, 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 da. So when I went in to go tell the people, this is my bag, this is the number, send it to my house, I wanted to get pissed at her. Because I had anger, bro.
Of course you did.
I wanted to be like, motherfuckers. But instead, I looked at her and I said, you know what? You don't deserve what I was going to do.
Yeah.
You just have a job here. You didn't lose anything. You didn't do anything bad. You're just here to try to find my baggage if I lost it and get it to me as soon as possible. But I will tell you this. I was on the plane and I saw my bag. I saw it. It was right there. And she goes, no way. I'm like, yes. She goes, did you do something? I'm like, well, I didn't yell too loud because then I'm going to be the asshole in the plane yelling out, that's my bag. You know what I mean? Like, and all he sees is that. I'll see. Yeah. He's trying to look at me like, what the fuck is that guy saying? You know what I mean? And I'm all like, that's my fucking bag.
Is that Carlos Mencia screaming?
Right. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, Carlos, what's up? I'm like, no, not Carlos. Like, just fucking. But I stopped myself.
Good job.
Because I thought, man, what if I was her? And that right there.
If that's your biggest problem?
Empathy. That's our biggest problem.
Yeah.
And we need to find it.
But
and
also,
and everything that I'm saying is addressing the empathy. But also what?
But also, how lucky are you that was your biggest problem? A bag that you were eventually going to get. A slight inconvenience.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? I was going home. But if I wasn't going home, they would have given me the little care package. Yeah. It's the care package that you get in first class when you're going overseas. So it'll have
like a toothbrush and shit.
Toothpaste, a comb, socks, moisturizer.
Oh, wow.
So everything that you need to go to sleep and wake up, you're good. They got it for you. Just in case you're going to stay somewhere that you're not supposed to be or they messed up your shit.
Because all your shit's in your bag.
Yeah, whatever. But that's, I believe that's where we've become such a selfish society. Everything's about me. Everything's about me. And I know that I'm not like that anymore, if I ever was. Because just based on how I react to things that happen on stage now, that I go, man, I would have dealt with that completely differently before. You know what I mean? Somebody comes to my show, you know what I do, and you want to heckle me? Or you want to like make me look stupid in front of these people? Are you out of your fucking mind? I'm going to bury you. Now, I just kind of go, man, you know, I want to...
Let it go. It's easier to let it go as you get older, though.
Why is that? What do you think? Why do you think that is?
I think it's experience.
Because it's not everybody, bro. We know a lot of bitter motherfuckers.
Of course, but also I think we get to a point where it's not worth the not even the time, the life. Because at this point in our life, there are less days in front of us than behind us.
Yeah, my midlife crisis was, let me see. So the average American male lives 78. Let's say 78. It fluctuates between 76 and 78. But let's say it's 78, right? Half of 78 is 39. So that's halfway. I'm going to be 58. So I'm 8 years past my prime. Yeah. I'm this guy, bro. No, just going down that hill, trying to grab all this shit. Nothing.
But I also think there's something to be said about generosity and the feeling that you get from being generous. I'll give you an example. Like I pay my mom's mortgage, and it's just she needs it, and I'm lucky enough to have it. So it's like
it makes your dick bigger.
On the 15th of every month, I know.
Good for you.
As I send my mom money, and she pays it. I don't pay it for her. It's like, because one of my other siblings was like, I can't just give mom the money because she might spend it on something else. Like, we were raised by the same fucking mom. What mom do you think would actually do that? Yeah. It's like, mom is the most responsible person I've ever met in my life.
Right.
But also, 100% of the time, like my mom will text me because I'll just send it to her. I won't even tell her I did. I'll just send it to her, and she's like, "Gracias, Gaby. Que Dios te lo multiplique."
Yeah, my mom does the same
Thanks,
thing.
Gabe. May God multiply it.
Same shit.
100% of the time,
Yeah.
I've gotten that money back. I don't know how, whether it was playing a slot machine or I got a great gig, a great paying gig. I couldn't explain how I get the money back. It just always comes back to me and more.
Yeah, same thing here.
And if you do it, and not do it where like you expect to get it back. Right. I'm never gonna be bill collector to my own mother. Right. Like it's just if it's gone, all I tell my mom is, Mom, I just need you healthy.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to have a heart attack because of money.
Yeah. I don't lend money, I give money.
That's how I see it.
Because I've had a couple of family members that are like adamant. No, you're not giving this to me. Okay. When can I expect this money back? And give me a for sure date. Because if you tell me March 3rd, 2027, I'm going to call you on March 3rd, 2027, and I'm going to say, hey, you said that this is the date that you wanted to pay me back. Do you have the money to pay me back? And if they go, oh, man, no, I'll say, I don't ever want to talk about this again. I'm never going to ask you for this money. I told you it was yours in the first place. You were the one that was like, I got it. Now you have me asking you for shit that you can't pay.
Now you're making me play bill collector.
Because you want me. So I'm never going to ask you for this money again. As far as I'm concerned, I gave it to you. If you feel bad about that,
that's on you.
Pay me.
That's on you.
It's a you thing.
But I will never ask you ever again.
No, because I don't want to lose.
And it's not worth losing a friend, a family member. That's the worst. That's the worst when you lose somebody.
People that you care about over some bullshit money.
Yeah.
That, and it's like, look, if you don't have, as long as I don't fucking, see you wearing a fucking watch that, I'm like, dude, come on. Yeah. Like, don't do that to me. You know what I mean? Don't ask me for money and tell me you can't pay it. I'm like, how do you like my watch? I like it a lot. Can I have it? Because I can sell it and get my money back. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
But as long as, like, if, like my sister, but I gotta say her name shit. No, I'll say it because she's really sweet about it. Like, when my sister Olga asked me for money, I know that she wanted that money to pay a bill. Like, I never said no to her. But she would use her kids. But not like you think. Like, this is how cool she is. I would get a phone call from one of her kids and be like, Uncle Ned? Yeah, what's going on? I need Uncle Ned, I need $142. Mom, I forgot. And I'd be like, put your mom on the phone. I'd be like, Mija, stop. Yes, you can have. I'll send you $500. No. I only need 100. Just make 150. Yeah, 142 and change. I know. What bill are you paying? You know what I mean? She's like, so I gotta pay the gas bill or whatever. I'm like, it's okay. Like that's nothing. That's nothing. No, but I feel bad. Yeah, why don't you talk to your brother blankety blank? He just asked me for $250,000. And he didn't even bother to have his kid ask for it.
Uncle Dad, my mom needs $250,000.
Nope, none of that. She was always like sweet. But going back to our original point, I believe that we have become a selfish society that altruistically, a lot of us think that we're being good. I mean, all these people that are okay with, and we're not going to get into it today. It's a really long subject, but it's all the people that like are okay with trying to assassinate a president. I don't give a fuck who the president is.
I don't want that.
What the fuck is wrong with you that you think that's okay? Like, and that's we're not in a movie. This isn't John Wick. Yeah. You can't just go around and by the way, that's never solved a problem. It's always created a problem.
Yeah.
And I've lived through it in Honduras, where there were these two families, bro. And it's just like the movies here. It's just like the fucking mix and the pink and the exactly like that. Family got together, two young pendejos got drunk. One shot the other. This was in the 70s, bro. To this day. 50 years later, they're still fucking killing each other.
Shit.
It's not every day. It's not a constant. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just when you think everything's okay, ¿sabes qué pasó? Se emborracharon esos cabrones. And bro, when you get drunk and you speak Spanish and you start listening to fucking songs about Yo soy hombre y la ley and all that shit, bro, dude, you start getting ballsy, bro. I've seen it, dude. My dad he didn't have a cantina, but he sold, like, alcohol sometimes. We had beers and stuff, and you could just see it all the time. So I believe we need something that I think military service would serve all of it. A, giving back to your country, right? So nobody can say, so at that point, nobody can say, I'm more American than you are.
Okay.
Right? Because everybody's given the 1 to 2 years, whatever that is.
Yeah.
We're all doing the same thing. So there's no hierarchy as when you try to put that into the mix. It's like, hey, we all did it. I fucking went too. The only people that would get shit on are the people that are told you can go to college and do this instead of this because that's giving.
Yeah.
But I don't know how that would work, so to speak. I know
because I thought that either if you go to college right out of high school or join the military, those are your only options.
Mm-hmm. But then we'd have to change them. Like, you would have to go to... But see, then my fear of that would be all the people in college would feel superior to all the grunts that have to fucking serve. And then that would be like that separation. Because what I would like is for all of us to feel, like we all gave to our country. We all glad to be part of it. It doesn't matter that your family's been here for 8 generations and my one, or vice versa. We're all going to do the same thing. We're all going to serve. We're all going to go overseas to see how the rest of the world lives. And I feel like that would give us enough empathy to start caring about each other a little more, to start seeing ourselves. And it's what I was trying to say earlier. I've never been to a part of this country and not felt like a part of the country. The worst ever, Anchorage, Alaska, never forget it. I walked into a bar and they all looked native, Inuit, Eskimo, whatever. And I shit you not, bro. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 people and one at the bar. And I walked in and it creaked just like a movie. And everybody just went like this. And they went back to their drinks. And it was the only time that I ever felt.
You ain't from around here,
Yeah,
are you, boy?
yeah. But it wasn't like that because it was all native. So it didn't have the white people, twang, you know what I mean?
But they all knew you weren't from around here.
But they all definitely saw me and looked at me and were like, okay, but I didn't get the, you're a white guy look.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. But I didn't get that you're one of us, but I didn't get that you're not one of us.
Did you feel uncomfortable being in there?
No, not like that. I didn't feel like they didn't want me there. But I knew if I sit down right here, right now, I'm gonna get into a 2-hour discussion with these people. That kind of a thing. You know what I mean?
You are good at that.
Yeah, I love doing that. But they're the ones that I won't do that with people that don't want to talk.
Yeah.
So they would have to open the door for me.
Yeah.
So that's what I saw. I saw people that were going to tell me some just horror stories that I was not ready to hear. Because it was, I'm sorry, I forgot to say it. It was the middle of the day. It was like noon.
Well, was the sun out the entire time you were there?
Was it an all night? No, but it was like a 3-hour night almost.
Because I was in Fairbanks, Alaska, and the time I was there, it was dark the entire time I was there.
Yeah. No, this was dark light most of the time.
Got it. That's harder to go to sleep at night.
Yeah, you got to get blackout.
Because it's midnight and the sun is out.
Yeah, but it's not high though. It's kind of like.
But still, like it still creeps through the curtains.
Yeah. So but I think that if we did that, I think that you know what I mean. I think that even if people like I don't know about you, but performing in stereotypically, quote unquote, bad for minority places, going to those places changed me in a much more positive way than negative way, because I got to see people. And granted, I'm sure that racists aren't rushing to buy tickets to go see Carlos Mencia.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna be, in that. But the people that I did encounter, I remember the first time I went to Birmingham, Alabama. Some of the nicest people I've ever met. And I don't mean that to be like, hey, man, those are some of the nicest people I've ever met. Yeah. I mean, legit, nice fucking people. And I can tell you that because I played golf. And I go by myself. And they would put me with a group of 3 people I've never met. And you know me, dude. I do not like hanging out with people I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not my thing. But I wanted to...
soak it up a little bit.
Yeah, man, and they were so cool and so nice, and it was like I remember the first time this one redneck told me. Well, first of all, he's like, by the way, I'm a redneck and I'm cool, and I'm like, okay, nothing bad. And then, dude, by the 13th hole, he's telling me a story about how he got a blowjob from a trans. Well, at that point, back in those days, you called them transsexual.
Yeah.
Transvestites are the ones that dress like women.
Correct.
But the transsexuals were the ones that won. So he met a transsexual that gave him a blowjob, and he reached down for her vagina and got a handful of dick and balls. And as he's telling me the story, bro, I have no idea how this is going to end, right? Because he's telling me this story, and he's got this accent. And he goes, let me tell you something, Carlos. I reached down. I didn't get a handful of crackers. I don't fucking know what that means. I'm just telling you what he said, dog.
What did he get a handful of?
I didn't get a handful of crackers. He goes, I reached down and it's in my hand, Carlos. I swear to God. And I go, what did you do? I said, I looked down at him. He had his mouth on my dick, and I said, when I'm done here, we're going to have a talk.
We're going to have a conversation.
And, bro, I laughed. At that point in my life, I had never laughed like that before. Not just funny, but so liberating.
It's so real.
You know what I'm saying? Like, here's a dude who just showed himself to me in the period of 2.5 hours, right? Maybe 3 hours, because you do about 4 hours, so you do about 15 minutes per hole, something like. Anyway, and he was just a human being. He was a fucking human being, bro, with an accent that I personally thought, oh, these people might be a little dumber than normal.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That kind of shit. I came in with stuff, so I'm not gonna be that guy that's like, no, I came in. No, dude, I came in thinking I'm in the South. Blah, bitty, blah, bitty, blah, bitty, blah.
Isn't it wonderful?
All disappeared.
Isn't it wonderful where you think one thing and you walk out a better person because of it, because it was so not what you had in your head?
Yeah, but that's what a lot of people need to. I mean, could you imagine what would happen if one of these kids who's growing up in a neighborhood or a home where they're like, these illegal aliens, blah, 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 blah. What do you think would happen if they woke up in the morning, went to that person's house, got on a bus or whatever they had to do to go to wherever they had to work? We're there to see them work. We're there to see what they do, Just that kind of thing, just to witness that, just to see, holy shit, okay, I didn't know. You know what I mean? Just realizing all that stuff, to think, you and I both know that it's impossible, and I don't give a shit what the numbers say, it's impossible that undocumented aliens take more from this country than give more to it. Because like all these people are like, and they're on welfare. I'm sure there are some brazen motherfuckers out there that don't give a shit. But the people that I know and knew that didn't have papers, they didn't even go to the fucking doctor, bro. They went to the curandero so that they wouldn't have to put their name down somewhere. The last thing these people are doing is going to the government and telling them, oh, by the way, I don't have papers, and do you want to know my address? I give it to you too, no problem. Like, that's not what we grew up with. And I grew up with that more than you, because you grew up in Tustin, so you didn't have it as much. But did you grow up around any of that at any point?
Santa Ana first, buddy. So Santa Ana before I ever went to Tustin. And I didn't know, in Santa Ana, I only knew black and Mexican with a splash of Asian. When I went to Tustin, that was all white. That was, but I credit my parents where I still didn't see a difference.
But that's my point. See, you experienced what I wish we could all experience kind of in reverse.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of going from the I have shit, I have this, let me go see how the others live, you got the opposite. You were in what we call a poor neighborhood. You were in the downtrodden neighborhood. Yeah. And you moved to the middle class neighborhood. And you got to see all the people that we in the hood call the demons. Oh, you know how they are, bro? Black people, bro, you know how they are? Then all of a sudden you're over here and you're like, dude, they have the same fucking problems you have. Same goddamn issues you have. Yeah. The difference is you wanted a bike, you couldn't get a bike. He wanted a certain bike, he got a different bike. Like, same whiny, cry shit, same problems, same issues, same humanity.
At every level of socioeconomic activity.
Right.
The problems are the fucking same. It's just maybe the bank accounts are a little bigger.
The bills are bigger.
That's it.
Right?
The nut you have to come up every month is
bigger. Sure. But the problems are the same. Many more problems is real. Right? Like, that's real. You have more money, you got more shit to pay, you got more shit to do, you have more problems, that's real. Now, I'm not telling you that having money doesn't overcompensate or compensate for that, which it does, depending on who you are, but it is a fact that the more money you have, let's not say more money, no problems. This is a fact. More money, more shit you got to worry about.
Yeah.
I mean, you're dealing with that with your house. Well, you just went through it.
I just went
so
through it.
You're on the other side. But think of all the shit you had to deal with just thinking about how to get that, how to refi, how to get it, who's going to do it for you. And luckily, we're in a business where we meet so many people that there's so many people that are like, you need what?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I got your back. Blah, 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 blah.
And so much, and again, age and experience. So many people out there that have access or know how to help, and you happen to tell the right person, like, hey, I need something creative with my to refi my house.
Yeah.
I got a guy.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg, what's going on? It's like, Gabe, I heard you need some help. Let me help you out. Thank you, bro. Thank you.
It's my cheat code.
Yeah.
Right?
You know somebody. And I know a guy. Just like, no different. Like if you're in the poor neighborhood, you got a good mechanic, the trustworthy mechanic. Oh, I got a guy. Mm-hmm. His name is Jose. He's over here in this corner and this corner. Tell him I sent you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And it starts off like that.
Yeah.
Could you try again?
What? Why is she talking to me like that?
She's talking to your balls, dude.
Dude, what the fuck was that all about?
I don't know.
She's listening to us, bro.
Yeah. Now she's going to send you mechanics.
You better make sure that you promote the shit out of this episode because you were listening in on it. That's crazy. Sorry.
Okay.
What the fuck? That was weird. Anyway.
And with that.
We will end with her listening. And by the way, our phones are fucking always listening. That's why I don't have an Alexa in our room. Well, I do, but it's not the video one. I'm literally scared. That thing is going to record me banging my wife. I really do, bro. I'm not even kidding. But, so you never got to what you thought would make this, I said, traveling, going to different places, seeing how they live, poor people hanging out with rich hanging out with poor type of shit. service might accomplish all that. But what do you have another one?
I think like especially like at the junior high school level or middle school, high school level, if kids could get exposed, especially in lower income areas, if they can be exposed to what else is out there, from saying like, let's say you're in Los Angeles and you could go to a Universal Studios backlot and see all the jobs that you can have in Hollywood, for example, or go to go visit a fire station, a police station. Just expose them to other stuff that's out there, because the problem is the limitation of where they live, and their brain can't comprehend how much more there is out there. You know, I know you're as blessed as I am, but with all my military tours, I've been in 37 different countries and territories around the world. Mm-hmm. And to be able to see as a civilian, not as a soldier, as a civilian, how other countries work. And that includes Iraq and Afghanistan, and I've been to Russia, and I've been to Africa. It's like, and Alaska, just off the wall, Greenland. It's like that was weird. Who the fuck gets to go to Greenland? I've been to Greenland. And there's
a few people in the world that know where Reykjavik is.
Yes. Driving down the street in the middle of the night in Fairbanks, Alaska, and the fucking moose are just fucking following the fucking trail, and they're following the van that they're wearing, and they're like, the one thing, if you encounter a moose, I'm like, I don't see a scenario where I'll be away from people, where I'm going to be with the moose by myself. But if you encounter a moose, do not feed it, because then they'll assume all humans feed moose, or mooses, or moosin, or whatever the fuck they are.
Meese. Remember the cartoon? Meeses to Pieces? Remember that?
Yeah. And there's also a fucking old Brian Regan joke. Moosin. Many moosin. But now I wanted to feed a moose. Moose.
A lot of mooses. That's right. He's fucking so good.
He's so great.
He's so good.
But they say, because if you feed a moose, then the next time they run into a human, they'll attack the human if they don't have food. I'm like, guess what? I want to start feeding all the fucking moose.
So they attack humans?
So they attack the next human. They did not like that at that show. So that was a 2-hour yuck after that. So.
Well, you know what? Maybe you should just take the time to read some articles, read some books written by people that don't exist in the world that you exist in, that are different than you, that are not like you, and maybe that'll bring you closer to those people and to our humanity. Because at the end of the day, if we don't care about each other,
I think just pay attention to the people around you. Just because they're Asian doesn't mean they're shitty drivers. Just because they're black doesn't mean they like fat white women. It's not just, just the general.
Just because they're Latinos doesn't mean they're illegal. Just because they're illegal doesn't mean they're bad. You know what I mean?
Just the whole thing. The list goes on. And it just talk to them.
Yeah.
And be willing to answer their questions. Hey, is it true that all Mexicans do this? Don't get mad. That's just what they were taught.
Right. No, I agree, man. Trying to make this world a better place. Between the laughs, baby. On behalf of my buddy, Mr. Gabriel Lopez, I am Carlos Mencia.
Adios.
Could have been Ned Holness, baby. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
So glad.
See you next time.